Not sure you can hear that. Electric fuel pump, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I think I'll have to figure that out though. But it does want to try to turn over, and that is a good sign indeed. I'm gonna pull the tank, at least peek underneath it, to see what that electrical ticking sound might be. There is no fuel, there's nothing, but I do have one of these nearby. One of these three should do it. Culprit discovered, I think. That looks like a noisy old electric fuel pump. So I think that's the jobber. It was hooked up to that line, bottom of the gas tank. I wasn't sure if these ran mechanical or electrical, so there's that. A few drops, so there is a little bit of gas left. There's the tank. So, I think we'll leave the gas tank out for now. Do a little cleanup down in there. While I got that all exposed, I can get some new fuel line. Maybe have some fun trying to turn this thing over. So, let's absolutely confirm. I'm going to have you guys be the witness for me. So, can you see that it's vibrating there? Yep. Alright. Well, let's turn that annoying little bugger off. Well, I think this is good progress for today. We are diagnosing what we need to diagnose. It is clear to me that I'll have to order a nice little new fuel pump, all new fuel lines. I'll check to see what color the gas is when I pour it out. If it's orange, I'll have to flush that whole thing. Bad gas and all. But it did want to try to turn over. And that is really exciting news, because now I'm thinking air up these tires, fix that brake pedal and I can pull this sucker into the garage. No, I am not anywhere near ready to actually drive it. Alright, well, I'll catch you later, guys. Thanks again for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. I'm going to try to be pretty good about putting videos up as I get this thing together at some point. Body work, interior, things like that. So, alright, later, dudes. The color of this stuff. I don't know if you can see how orange that is. No bueno. Just so nobody thinks I'm an idiot, I drained the tank, I cleaned it out with some acetone to try to dissolve some of the rusty gas that had been sitting in there for a long time. Then I cleaned that again, rinsed it with some water, and then I put a whole bunch of CLR in there to try to eat up some of the rust and let it sit for quite a while, slosh it around, get a lot of that surface rust. Had a long 5-foot length of chain in there when I was doing that to try to get loose any of the scaly rust and chunks. Nothing's leaking, it's just been sitting there for a while and turned quite orange, as you saw in that other video. So, or in this earlier one actually I should say. And then once I was done with that, I rinsed it again with some acetone just to try to get any of the lingering CLR off. Rinse that again with some water, and now I'm using my shop vac on the blow feature rather than the suck feature to get the moisture out of the gas tank. So I'm going to let this run for a good 45 minutes to an hour. It'll be annoying, but there are no fumes. It's just now about making sure that the water in there dries as quickly as possible, and as you saw with my glove there, it's blown quite hard. So once that's been run for a while, I'm going to let it dry. I'm sure I'll get more surface rust, but I do have a can somewhere around here of POR 15 fuel tank sealant. I will use that on this thing, and then we will proceed. So I'm quite confident this is going to be good enough for what I'm doing. I just don't want it to leak, I don't want it to rust, and I don't want it to catch fire, at least unless the fuel gets to the engine. So again, I'm a bit of a hack, but I do think I know what I'm doing here. I did on my Willys Jeep here, I did similar stuff with the aftermarket tank that came with it, and used red coat with a K, to seal that tank, and it worked out all right. So I think I'll end up with good results here. So back to the noise, and then let it run for a while. See you guys. Working on getting the fuel tank figured out today. Seal it up nice. So cover up holes that it doesn't leak with the port 15 in it. Isn't that? I like to use foil tape. For me, it works best just because it's got enough sticky on it, but it also has the rigidity of the foil, so that the aluminum aluminum will hold if the sticky part fails. So now pour it in through the main hole. Should work out just fine. Alright, basically instructions: pour everything in, roll it around, eventually pour everything out. Little leakage around that foil at the top where the sending unit goes, but no worries. Okay, so when you're done, the instructions say you drain out whatever it is that's left in there. You simply don't need it. Not sure how much you can see in there, so I started with a pint. Quart would not have been enough. Pint gets me just enough more, so I think it was worth doing. You are not allowed to reuse it. They actually tell you to leave it out till it gets rock hard. It is not something you can seal up. You seal the can up, it blows up. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is set it up over here on the ground with that going down in the hole to drain whatever's left. Over here, and then you look down here, sneak around, and you can see main drain holes in there. I think that'll be enough. Should work. So I'm following directions. I think I'm doing it right. It's going to be better than it was. We'll call it good. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the mechanical fuel pump. I'm gonna wait on that actually. So I was thinking initially that I was going to just cut this and pull it off, but what I think I might do is keep it connected, wired up temporarily, with the idea that maybe if I find that the fuel lines are a bit clogged, I can stick one end of this into some acetone or something like that and run it through to clean that out. So we'll give that a shot, see how it goes. Okay. Okay, so I got my system ready to go. I have a jug of acetone here that's going to help clean the gum out of the fuel line if there is any. It goes into the mechanical pump, vice grips locking down the mechanical pump, ground to the steering column, all new rubber line here and here. So let's take you to the back so you can see what I got going on in the back as well. Empty jug of acetone, follow the hose up, and it goes to the other end of the fuel line. So acetone will go through the line, hopefully remove some of the gum out, junk that's in there, and then deposit it right in there, and we should be ready to go. Alright, so I just ran the ground strap back to where it was. The acetone jug is farther down as well, so let's see how this goes. Fuel pump might be dead or horribly clogged. I'm gonna go see if there's any coming out the other end. It is giving little puffs of air out the other end, so that's not horrid. We just have to see if it's gonna actually pull any fuel. Right now, it's not looking good. Alright, continuing my work on the gas tank. Some rust here. This will take care of that. Finding little bits of leftover adhesive from the tank to body seal. Alright, time for the Permatex. I love this stuff. Cheap brush. This, you're good to go. Alright. A little of this stuff goes a very long way, especially if you've gotten all the real good stuff off. You get enough of that original rust off. I use this as part of the undercoating on my Willys CJ. That thing had a bit more rust than this. This see it'll start to, it's already, I can feel this already starting to thicken up. So then when I'm done, use a little bit of this. So you can see the streaks are starting to solidify. It was mostly surface rust. I've already sealed the inside of the tank, so this is not sealing anything. This is just giving it an extra layer of rust treatment and protection, because this is the part that's exposed as it's driving along. So anyway, good enough. I'll show you the other side now that it's starting to dry clear. Notice, by the way, that I pour it rather than getting the brush near the jar. That's never going to work out the way you want it to. You might transfer some of the rust to the container itself, and as a result of that, you may end up having the stuff sort of go off in the jar itself, in the little container. See this side. Already starting to treat that, turn black. I think I'll do maybe another coat down there just to be on the safe side, but all the rest of this is drying clear and hard. And this thing will be a much better gas tank for it. Alright, now we'll be done. Alright, going for round 2, which hopefully will be quicker and quieter for the neighbors. Just some rust spots, a little bit. Good enough, now I'm going to wipe it down. Here you can see the brush is already starting to turn black, but still soft enough for the next application. Alright. That happens in every bottle. Gets on the nerves. All good.